Hello my beautiful Cancerians, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing your 2025 horoscope. Watch this if you're Cancerian, Sun, Moon or Rising. First and foremost, of course, Rising, because for astrology this is your most important placement. And just a reminder that even though I'm going to try to mention some of the most important transits for you for the year ahead, this is general, and in your own individual charts you could be having something very different happening if you have specific configurations activated or not, or there could be some things that just apply more to you or apply less to you. Nevertheless, again, this is general. I do hope it helps. Give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you appreciate this content. We're almost at 100k, so hopefully by 2025, before even the year, we'll get there. And anyway, guys, without any further ado, let's get started. So the year begins, I kind of want to go into the, you are Cancerian, you are ruled by the moon, and the year begins, interestingly enough, with a full moon in the sign of Cancerian, 24 degrees, January 13. Again, I don't really mention usually full and new moons, but you are a Cancerian, this is the full moon in your sign, and I think it's pretty symbolic that we start the year with this full moon without opposition to Pluto. A lot of you guys and girls, I bet, will love it, because this full moon with Pluto, opposite Pluto, that's been happening there since how long? Since 2008, right? Around then. That's been heavy. That's been not a normal, not a normal full moon. Nothing was normal about it. And I do think that for a lot of you, you've already started feeling a bit of that sense of relief now that Pluto is no longer in Capricorn, but is in Aquarius. And definitely this full moon will be probably a reminder. And yes, starting the year with this full moon, you might feel like, wow, yes, we're no longer in Kansas, so to say, right? Pluto is no longer in Capricorn. Now, of course, we have Mars retrograde in your sign, right? Mars in Cancer, it's going to be there till April. Mars is going to be in your sign till April. It's going to re-enter Leo. Yes, it's going to re-enter Leo, your second house, in April, and then it's going to be out of it completely like in June. So first half of the year is very much still under the influence of that Mars retrograde, Mars transit through Cancer, through Leo. For you, of course, it's about your second house. Mars and Leo in your second house is about resources, income, things like this, your self-worth, self-value. And Mars in Cancer is about you yourself. Usually when Mars is in your sign, the way I've been feeling this kind of transits and what I've been observing in charts of clients is that this is where you become more irritable, yes, but at the same time this is where, especially if you have any kind of physical practice, whether it's your yoga, Pilates, running, exercising, boxing, with Mars could not be a bad idea to pick up one of those. You can channel any kind of frustration you have into exercise, and usually this helps to resolve this kind of energies better. I notice that when I'm exercising consistently with any kind of Mars transits, of course, careful to not to not injure yourself in any way, but it does help a lot, because again, Mars is that energy, that physical activity, and the better you channel it in certain practices, the easier the transit becomes. So yes, till April, I would say make sure you get your yoga and Pilates mat on, and try to not get into any unnecessary arguments with other people. Yes, sometimes you need to protect yourself, assert your boundaries, but again, if it's unnecessary arguments and fights, it's best to just channel the energy of Mars into some kind of physical practice. I myself have Mars and Cancerian in my natal chart, and I like the kind of practice usually that's more like dancing, yoga. Yoga is my favorite physical practice, and I think it's very, very suitable for this placement, because there needs to be, like when we practice yoga, right, we do certain asanas more during full moon, and our practice during new moon can be very, very different because of various things. What we do if we practice yoga, with sunrise is very different what we do during the day, or if we do a nighttime practice. So I think this is very, very suitable for this transit. And then, of course, Mars goes back into your second house in the sign of Leo, which is about resources, finances, income, also the foods you eat. I notice whenever I have Mars in the second house transit, I always crave more spicy foods. I also tend to overspend. Well, I honestly, I don't need that transit for that, but especially with Mars in second house, it could bring you impulsive spending, wanting to spend on a little bit more like things that are Mars-like. Could be, I don't know, you might want to buy some martial arts related things. I don't even know. It could go many different ways. Of course, with Mars and Leo could be also more desire for luxury. Again, just try to avoid unnecessary impulsive overspending. But other than that, I do think you might actually also make more money. You might become more focused on resources, finances, restructuring that area of your life, and end up actually earning more, spending more as well, but also earning more, which is a good thing. We will also have the final eclipse in your 10th house of career, your social status. So eclipse has been happening there since spring, right? If I'm not mistaken, spring of 2023, the nose ingress in the summer, of course, of 2023. And there's been the change, maybe a little bit of loss of direction, even when it comes to career versus home and family. I know many Cancerians who had very significant changes when it comes to property, when it comes to social status, whether it is through career or also marriage, dissolution of marriage, or maybe getting married. It was like, I've seen the full range of that of course where your individual chart comes in. So there's been big changes there, and this eclipse that we are having in March is going to be like the culmination of that. Some kind of final dot will be there. Depends, of course, on your individual situation. And now what's interesting as well, the eclipses, of course, will be moving to your 3rd and 9th house axis, which is a very different energy. 9th house is, of course, about learning, finding that meaning in life again. Guru could appear, a teacher, a guru, a very important teacher and guru could appear in this time frame for you, or you could find meaning through some kind of spiritual study. I've seen a lot of, I have a lot of Cancerian friends who actually started studying astrology or started studying Kabbalah or even any kind of yogic principles during this kind of transits. So yes, for a lot of you, this is coming. Eclipses on 3rd and 9th house will be all about learning, all about shifting your mind from sort of more a fixed space where, again, for you, the focus was more on the 4th, 10th house, which is your home versus your career, private life versus public life. Now it's going to be, in a way, much more flexible. Travel could be important during this time, but also a bit more disruptive at the same time. Learning, like your mind shifts to a different state. It's going to be very important for you. And what's interesting as well is now the eclipses are done with your 4th, 10th house axis, but we have Saturn and Neptune ingressing into your 10th house. So for a lot of you, you're going to be finding yourself again in the area of career. There's a lot of uncertainty with Neptune there, but at the same time with Saturn, it's almost like you have to get something done. And you know that you will. You know that you maybe will find a new career path. Maybe you already found it when you had eclipses there, when you had North Node there. And there's something about really focusing on that area of your life, your career, how you are defined by the world, how you are seen by the world. Of course, you are defining yourself first through your knowledge somehow, through your maybe expertise or things you have to share, and then really asserting yourself in a new way. Like you have this brand new image, like people maybe are used to seeing you as, I don't know, a husband, a wife, or like a person, I don't know, like a person who does this and that kind of business. And now you are like, okay, I have this brand new identity, get used to it. There's something about rebranding yourself, and the world is starting to see you in a new way. What's interesting as well is right in between, so Neptune goes there first, and then Saturn goes there into your 10th house. They both are going to retrograde back to Pisces, to your 9th house, but the ingress begins in the 10th. The wind, so to say, shifts. Right between the Saturn and Neptune ingress, there's also Venus retrograde between your 10th and 9th house. So this is, again, all about who you want to be in the world, your career, and also your learning. Any kind of legal matters also that you need to take care of. Some kind of loose ends maybe that are preventing you from having the kind of social status that you want. Maybe something even in terms of education, something you need to learn to study in order to have the kind of career that you want. Again, all of this area of your life has been highlighted. Now, another interesting transit is, of course, we have Jupiter now in your 12th house, right, in Gemini. It's been there since end of May 2024. It's going to stay there till June 2025. It's your 12th house, what you need to let go of, some kind of faded endings, faded closure. You completed the 12-year cycle. And now Jupiter will be entering your first house, Cancerian, in June of 2025. So it's almost like, again, there's this brand new you with Jupiter entering your first house, with all these activations of your 10th house, with this North Node entering your 9th house. It's almost like this is the year you are going to be reborn. You are going to finally let go, if you haven't done so yet, some of you already have, of whatever has been, your past and not your future. and step into this brand new version of yourself and shine bright, especially in the second half of the year. And one of the most also interesting things, of course, about year 2025 is that now Uranus, planet of change and revolution, is going to be entering your 12th house of subconscious endings, creativity, long-term research, the undoing, the spiritual hidden life. Uranus entering there, honestly, this is going to be interesting because this is also a long transit that's going to stay there till the 2030s. Crazy, right? We're almost done with 2020s, the 2030s. I don't know, the time is no longer real. Let me know in the comments if you, by the way, agree with that. So Uranus in the 12th house will give you some ideas, I think in the 12th house, in the subconscious house, it's going to give you some ideas. Like out of nowhere, you could be having this eureka, aha moments, spiritual insights, you know how they say downloads. Of course, again, this is such a big transit. We'll do a separate video for it. But essentially, yes, Cancerian, 2025 looks like the year where when you're going to be reborn, when you're going to step into your brightest, kind of like highest, best self. Go through a bit of this glow up. So let me know how it goes. Of course, please remember that this is general, and if you want me to do your personalized consultation where I will specifically look at your degrees, secondary progressions, return charts, all the very, very specific and nuanced techniques that I use, you know what to do. 2025 is still available essentially, but I do hope this gives you some at least general idea of what to expect in 2025. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate it. We're almost at 100k. Anyway, Cancerians, happy new year. I wish you all the best for the year ahead. I hope all your dreams come true and you will experience the best life has to offer. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk soon. Bye.